The Nerd or Not podcast is an irregularly aired show about games, movies, TV, comics, theme parks and anything else that floats our fandom. And now, here's your hosts, Jay, Bob, and Corey, the Creighton's Guild.
Hello, Cretans, and welcome.
Damn it!
Is that legit?
I don't know. Do you want to see how wet the chair is?
No, I don't.
Gee.
That you're going to take that chair when you move out.
Yeah, it's garbage now.
Hello, Cretans, and welcome back to episode 44. And now you're gagging. Nerd or not?
It's like you're going from first to fifth to first, and then just running.
I have no neutral.
Into a ravine.
It's either off a bridge or it's like it's kind of like the speeds on I-4. It's either Autobahn or parking lot.
It's a lot to deal with at 11 a.m. Which this is a very special Cretans podcast.
We've never done a show this early in the day. Usually it's the 12 hours in advance from now.
Yeah.
So this is episode 44 of the Nerd or Not podcast. I'm Bob. He's Corey. We give our opinion on a range of topics, everything and anything under the bright nerd sun, all while promoting fellowship, conversation, and humor every chance we can.
The intolerably bright nerd sun.
Yes.
Because it's August.
It is fucking hot outside. I'll get into that, but I, for the first time in my life, had to leave a park early. I couldn't be out in that heat any longer. It was just too brutal.
Now, just before you get started on that, we need to remind people that this is the Cretans Guild podcast, not the old man small talk in front of Cracker Barrel podcast. The weather chatter is related to the stuff that we're about to talk about.
Well, this show's slowly morphing into that the older we get, and
let me class it down a little bit then for everybody. Boy, it's hot out today, isn't it? Sure is, man. Both nuts sticking to either thigh. I can't seem to pry them off with a spoon.
Reginald, I can't even feel my nuts anymore. Don't drink.
My semen's boiling. I'm surprised I still had some.
Oh, God. If you have a Cracker Barrel in your town, these are the conversations that go down in those rockers right outside.
Yes.
While you're playing the oversized chess or checkers.
Speaking of having some, how was Gladys last night? Because she was fucking on fire before she left.
Oh God, that was the wrong laugh. I have preset laughs ready to go in my brain, and I hit the wrong key for that one.
The finger slipped on your mental soundboard.
I fat fingered the laugh.
Yep.
We are part of the Somebody's Network. Look us up at Somebody's Net, both on Twitter and Instagram.
There is such a thing as psychological fat fingering.
Yeah, and I'm living proof of it. Speaking of somebody's, I wanted to share something with everybody.
Oh.
You hear that? You know what that is?
It's not money.
It is not money, because we're broke as hell. We'll get into that later on as well. This is a handwritten letter. When was the last time you've gotten a handwritten letter?
Are you serious? That's
look at it, yeah.
That's mail?
That is, this was mailed to me with some other stuff.
All right, wait, let me see this for a second.
Don't read it, but you can look at it.
I'm gonna do one of these for the people at home who are both
great for audio,
precognitive, and B 50 or so. I'm doing a Karnak.
Oh,
this is mail. We don't get mail. People don't send mail to each other anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this is from Random Rob.
Oh my God. You are so good, or you read the rundown.
I read the rundown.
You read the rundown. Yeah, Rob sent me a letter and a handful of stickers, and I just wanted to recite the letter because, it's fucking awesome. When was the last time you got a letter? That's not from family member.
Without sounding like too much of a crank, I don't really think people care to communicate with each other enough in order to handwrite a letter anymore.
I'm going to agree with that. I cannot honestly recall the last time I received anything. But I'm going to.
Before I was a teenager, I have never seen a letter.
Even pen pal.
Yeah,
I got a letter from my pen pal saying, "I don't want to do this anymore." And this is predated texting.
Too much of an investment.
Yeah, postage is just going up. It went up from 25 to 27 cents now.
Yeah, and I forgot how to cursive. It's just too much of it. It's a hassle.
You never forget how to swear.
No, that's cursing.
Cursing.
Yeah.
I know hell and damn and cunt.
No Italian cursing. I've been getting into that.
Oh, that's
because you can get that by
that's multilingual.
Yeah, you can get that by
of course, that's more like hand gesture, isn't it?
No, there's Italian cursing.
There is
Caso, vaffanculo.
Ooh, what is that?
Caso.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, I'm trying to remember Caso because that's one of the fallbacks, and I think that's like an abridgment to something else. But a vaffanculo is basically fuck yourself. Or vaffanculo, is that?
Vaffanculo.
Vaffanculo is basically you go fuck yourself. There's I don't have my glossary on me, but yeah, that's a good way to get around like various social media cursing algorithms. So also it's like percussive as shit though. So it like gets it out like vaffanculo like that.
Oh, that had some authority behind it.
Yes, emotional pile driving.
That is awesome. All right, so let's get into this letter. It starts off with, "Hey Bob, I wanted to thank you
personally for being a patron to the show. Honestly, when was the last time you received a poorly written letter from anyone? Funny, right? Seriously, thank you for your support, and also thank you for the opportunity to be on your show. It was a great experience, and I look forward to doing more things in the future. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you on the internet. Signed, Rob."
Bob and Rob rhyme.
That's cool as shit. The letter.
I know. I'm going to treasure this. I'm probably going to... He sent me some stickers. I took one of them. I put it right on my the side of my PC. Mm-hmm. So it's right up there with Secret Club, Cretans Guild, and Best Darn Diddly Tag. Shout out to Wrestle... I almost said the wrong word.
That's
Derailed Wrestling.
Yes, that's right.
Goobs and Ripken are going to come down here and kick our ass one day.
They'll be kicking your ass. I can outrun them both, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, you could outrun them. Because one of them's the size of me and the other one's missing a toe. There it is, our one per show. Also, shout outs to Peter Capaldi, our one per show.
That's right. Hey, Pete.
You think he goes by his friends call him Pete?
Never.
Peter!
I was impressed with your tower of notoriety over there the other
I know,
day.
it's grown extensively.
It's beginning to look like the back of a Geo Tracker circa 1996. I like it.
And I don't have any stickers for it, but I do have a coaster for drunk discussions.
That's more appropriate.
Yeah. I love that idea. We need to start looking into stuff like that.
Just, puke sponges.
Yeah.
It's a good call. I like it. What's going on today?
So let's get into our first topic. And we recently, well, I don't know how recent it's been by the time we get to recording. That's the unique thing about us. We don't have a set schedule if you haven't noticed. So when you do listen to us, first off, thank you. We don't really...
that we're lazy.
Well, I don't know if we're lazy, but we kind of like stockpile stuff and like work on stuff until we have the time to talk about it.
Then let me speak for myself and what I was so rudely reminded of the other day when I was on Secret Levels with Goobs and Toby, that I have a 3 years dormant fucking YouTube channel. So, all right, you're not lazy. I sure the fuck am lazy.
The first thing I wanted to talk about is something I am extremely looking forward to, and that's Smash. I cannot believe this roster. It is so ungodly big.
Yeah. And it took me a second to mentally catch up to you. You're not referring to, like, whiskey smashes or anything like that. Sort of like...
Not yet. It's...
street name for an illicit substance.
I don't think there's such a thing as too early in the day to drink, especially when you have my kind of schedule up at 3:30. Yeah. It's only 9 a.m. Fuck you, I've been up for 10 hours by now.
It's all relative. By the time you get out of work, everybody else is getting up.
Yeah. So don't give me your crap about drinking too early.
Exactly, 11 a.m. That's too late, in my opinion.
It's too late to start. They just had a direct for Smash, and they added a couple extra characters. For this new one, I mean, if you haven't known by now, they're including every past character of all time into this. So that's 63 characters.
They got the rights back to Snake. He's in on the job.
I love that. I love that there's some of these extra... I think it's kind of cheap. Like, we're going to put it in the Mii Fighter, and that's going to take up 3 roster spots. Okay, whatever, dude. But Snake.
Where's the Mii Fighter?
Mii Fighter,
these
51
three.
through 53.
Whatever.
They could be a brawler, a sword fighter, or a gunner.
Yeah.
I don't think this game has too many goddamn sword fighters.
They're dopes. It has too many people.
Let's jump off one bridge at a time here.
It has too many people. Let's hope they put in more.
And that has been the consensus. It's like, we want more, goddammit.
Yeah.
So they did the thing, I think it was late last year, earlier this year, where they introduced and they said, hey, the Inklings are now going to be in it.
Yeah, well, good, right. Yes. Yeah. People were asking.
Cool. I mean, it makes sense. It's the biggest Nintendo IP outside of...
I mean, people thought that was going to be DLC for the Smash 4.
Oh, for the Wii U version?
Yeah, that it was going to be belated DLC, the Inklings, and it seemed like a good idea. It seemed like a prime opportunity to pimp out Splatoon at the same time, but it didn't happen.
At the time that Splatoon finally did come out, did it look like the Wii U was going to be a success at this point, or was it too early to tell? Because I know it technically was not a success.
What had happened, I think, as far as the public perception of the Wii U was concerned, was that it started on pretty rocky footing to begin with. Then it had some really interesting releases coming out between the announcement and then the pre-hype for Smash. But something kind of odd happened when Smash came out. People began to adopt this attitude that Smash was pretty much going to be it for the Wii U. Like, as soon as that game hit, people were like, well, what else is coming out? Before Splatoon was teased.
Okay.
And they were like, oh god, this is it, isn't it? This is just...
So it wasn't a case of too little too late. It was just...
It was a case of...
Not enough.
It was very strange. Because the thing is that, like, I get a lot of mileage out of my Wii U. But here's why. I migrated all of my Wii games over to it. And then, you know that I didn't sell my Wii, but I donated it to somebody.
Yeah.
Because I knew, it's like, okay, well, I've got your old GameCube. That's kicking around my apartment. I can play all my GameCube stuff in there, and that thing is a fucking force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Those goddamn GameCubes. And I don't really need a Wii because I can play all of my Wii stuff on the Wii U. And the Wii U, I've only got like 6 titles for it right now. Why not? But I think from the outset, people were like, okay, this is a tablet, but it's not a tablet. You can't take it too far away from the console. And it's a home console, but it wants to be remote. And they got the idea right away that this was something that was half-baked and was more or less transitional tech to something that they wanted to do today. That ended up being the Switch.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, does it feel like it was rushed?
It felt like they... What it felt like was that Nintendo was still married to the old console life cycle, and that they had to have something to supersede the Wii before that 5-year threshold was hit. Meanwhile, the 360 is still doing 360 shit, and the PS3 can't be arsed to do anything else.
Yeah.
But Nintendo's like, no, this is how it is, and we have to abide. So then the Wii U came out, and people were like, ah. And then the Wii U price point came out, and people were like, oh. And then...
Really? I thought it was more competitive than the other two.
No.
Oh,
absolutely
really? It was
not.
on par, price-wise.
Because the Wii U was actually first to hit the news cycle before the Xbox One and the PS4.
Yeah.
People were like, you are pricing this out to high-def console prices? You fuckers are nuts.
And it wasn't a high-def device, right?
Well, it was on par with the 360. But guess what? That's not really showing up where the puck's gonna be.
That's like how everyone compared Genesis to rival the Super Nintendo when the Genesis was not built to rival Super Nintendo. It was built to rival the NES.
Yeah, but they were marketed to compete.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the Wii U was marketing itself as a next-gen system when it was barely achieving last-gen visuals. If you wanted to get technical about it, the Wii U was pushing down the 360 and the PS3. But the thing is that the 360 and the PS3 already got there. What was going to come after the Wii U was going to outclass it in every conceivable way. Except for, of course, Nintendo's first and second party IPs. So...
So speaking of those IPs...
Yeah... Well,
bring it back to Smash.
Yeah.
So yeah, they announced the new Smash for the Smash Ultimate. Mm-hmm. Smash 5?
I'll go with Ultimate.
Yeah.
Let's
not make it confusing.
Yeah, so far is going to be Sakurai's last hurrah.
This does feel like this might be the last Smash. Just because everything is in it.
But it always feels like the last Smash.
This is true.
Yeah.
The last two felt like, okay, this is it, guys. Enjoy it while you can. It's like, oh, okay.
It's like, you're leaving us with DLC. Fine. That's great.
So after they made the announcement, they brought in the Inkling. They recently introduced character number 65, which was somebody people were screaming for.
Well, it was a joke for a while because it was a stage hazard.
Yeah.
And then people kept telling themselves, well, wouldn't it be funny if a stage hazard became a playable character?
Well, I never thought this guy would work as a character because, for one thing, he's goddamn huge.
Yeah, he's Diesel.
Yeah. The tallest character I think is Bowser before this.
Either Bowser or Ganondorf.
I think Bowser's taller than Ganondorf.
Yeah.
And so this guy, Ridley, he's massive. And in the games, thank you. In the games, he's gargantuanly big, right?
Yeah. And they had to scale him down just to fit with the platform parameters.
Just so he can fit on the goddamn screen.
Yeah, they're obviously not going to leave him at like Mega Bowser, at a Mega Bowser
or Craig
ratio. But yeah, Ridley was the big surprise during the Ultimate announcement. And then I kind of thought that was it. I thought that was like because Sakurai joked about people not asking him for any more characters. I think a lot had assumed that the roster was capped at that point.
Right.
And then they did another live. And apparently they're not going to stop until the game's released.
Which, that really holds up my hopes and prayers for some characters. And then I saw one character that not a lot of people asked for, but still a lot of people seem to accept was Dark Samus.
Yeah, testicular Samus. That's right.
That's
all
the first thing I
all
thought
like
of.
Veiny and raging. Just putting that biology out there face front for everyone to deal with. Her shoulder pads are gross. Cover that shit up, Samus.
Well, the next two announcements were pretty interesting.
Trying to eat here.
Eating that roasted chicken that's in the wall.
Yeah. Oh, God.
We're speaking of the Belmonts, Simon and Richter.
Yeah. Simon was a blindside because a lot of people had been joking about Simon to be in Smash Brothers since the first fucking game. Or since Solid Snake was in
Right.
Melee. No, Brawl. God damn it.
Yeah.
I forgot there were two other games before that.
Yeah, that's why they need to stick to the numbered system, because years down the line, it's like, well, which one was first? I
don't know. It was the 13th one. The one that was supposed to be last. Before they got to 22. But there was Simon popping out, and then, because they felt like they could do it, Richter, of all people.
Didn't see that one coming. Who was the...
I didn't see Simon coming.
Well, this is true, but, I mean, if you had to pick a Belmont, which one would you pick?
Honestly, I thought they would have gone with, Nathan Grit now.
No, I know which one you want.
Yeah,
you wanted the Captain and Simon Belmont.
Well, I want the Captain and Simon Belmont, yeah. But if I had to pick one from the Kanan series, I would have gone with Nathan Graves, because that guy doesn't get enough press, in my opinion. But aside from that, I thought they would have gone with, as an Echo fighter, at least like a Trevor or somebody. But they went with Richter, who was, if we're going with international appeal, he was in the second most... I think the second most revered Castlevania, which was Rondo of Blood.
Oh, okay.
The one that was the supposed precursor to Symphony of the Night, which is the first. Most.
Yeah, I did play the Castlevania series, but I played them once when they first came out, and so remind me, what's the major difference between these two, Simon and Richter?
As characters, not a whole lot. Because
is it their weaponry or what?
No, they both wield the vampire killer, so whip it good. They both use sub weapons. They both have sub weapon mega crashes, or at least Simon did later on. And because like this has become the byline, weirdly enough. Well, what happened to Alucard? Alucard uses swords, so the weapon animations, I'd assume, wouldn't be quite the same. Although Alucard does show up as like an alternate skin on one of these, I think.
Maybe as an alternate skin. You know what? I think he shows up as a stage hazard. If I remember correctly.
As a hazard?
Yeah.
Because I've seen screenshots of it, but I'm thinking to myself, well, he couldn't be a reskin because of, what we were just talking about, the mesh and the animations. But yeah, they both play pretty similarly. They're counterpart Belmonts.
Yeah.
It's just that Richter is less old.
The more familiar Simon.
Yes.
Probably. Now, there was I was talking about how this game has too many goddamn swordsmen. Because what are these guys from? The
Roy and Cromer from Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. Yeah, they've added in another Fire Emblem character.
More Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah.
And none of them are Lyn or Hector. Like, goddamn it, guys, who do I have to blow?
Don't answer that.
To get the decent characters in here. I don't even... Who the hell is Crom?
Yeah, was that the new addition for...
For this year, yeah, he's the Echo Fighter to Roy.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is. I don't know which Fire Emblem he's from. He might be from, like, the first Gaiden on the Super Nintendo, but...
All I can tell you is I used Marth all the time because he was a heavy hit. Was it Marth or was it Roy?
Yeah, it was Marth.
It was one of them that had like a super smash attack.
I remember you using Marth all the time on the sandbags before.
Yeah, one of them was faster. Another one was a heavy hitter. I can't remember. I think it was Roy. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. And then you got the Lucina Echo Fighter counterpart to Marth, and I think she's from one of the newer games. But I stopped playing Fire Emblem after Stones, just because
I never played single Fire Emblem.
The big appeal, and a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but the big appeal to Fire Emblem to me was that, A, it was cracking strategy, and B, the pixel animation on it is like second to fucking none. Like, especially during the battle scenes. And after Stones, once they brought Fire Emblem over to the DS, they went like full on 3D for everything. And suddenly, like, 50% of the appeal to the games was just lost on me. I had no interest in them anywhere after the fact. Like, I tried playing the first one for the DS, which was like, Dragon Shadow or something stupid like that, because they always have to, alliterate according to the initials. But I got like maybe 2 fights in, and I was like, I'm still playing, I'm still actually going through the Hector storyline of the first game, or the first GBA game. I'm just going to stick with doing that. I know I'll be dead before I even finish it. That's 2 games. I am good. And then apparently just through the series' continual evolution, it stopped resembling Fire Emblem. It became less Fire Emblem-y as time wore on.
I know that if they add another Fire Emblem character to Smash it, they might as well just make their own game at this point.
People are going to lose their shit. Yeah.
Well, I don't think people will get too upset because Fire Emblem has some fans. But, man, this roster is really watered down with Fire Emblem characters now.
It is.
But the last character they added was King K. Rool.
Which fucking nobody saw coming.
Nope. Everyone did that. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, except for a lot of the furries. I'm pretty sure the furries...
They don't count.
Yeah, they lost their collective shit when it happened. Many a forum was alight that day of yiffing in celebration.
Oh, God.
And fursuit revelry. Because King K. Rool has come to party.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Looking at this roster... It says 67 characters. Technically, there's more than that.
Yeah.
Because some of them have double up numbers, like Roy and Crom are both 25.
Oh, I see, because they're Echo Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want you to take one character. What one character would you take off, and what is the one character you'd replace them with?
Well, first of all, any Echo Fighter. That's ridiculous. Like, if each of the characters has a separate skin, or even a separate mesh skin, like Wario does... You could just... The
Echo characters, in my opinion, should be a second skin.
Yes.
That's my strong opinion.
It's a wasted slot.
Yeah.
So anything that's Echo...
all right, anything not Echo, then.
Anything not Echo? All right, let's see here. Palutina's a weird one.
But she's kind of unique enough where...
Yeah, like she's not another Pit. I just don't know that many people that use her. Any of these guys that are like another Pokemon, or anybody that's from Fire Emblem, like we just discussed, would probably...
We do have a lot of Pokemon on here, but, Pichu, he doesn't need to be on there, but I guess since...
That's been a complaint for like a long time, though.
Yeah. He should be a second skin of Pikachu, in my
opinion.
Who
the fuck a Pichu? Get the hell out of here.
Wolf should be... Well, I don't... should he be a secondary... I mean, that's... Between Wolf, Star Fox, and Falcon.
Wolf was after me. Like, I played a little bit of Smash Brothers 4 when it first came out, but then Splatoon hit, and I was pretty much gone after that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much different Wolf is than Fox.
From what I understand, it's almost exactly the same. They have the same hit strength, the same speed. I'm not sure if they have the same exact moves. I think it's pretty damn close to the two of them.
Then he should be a skin. There's no question. If there's another character on here that's exactly like another character, then he should be a skin.
Right.
So, all right, let's take the skins out, like you were saying. Who the hell else do we have?
I'll tell you who I would take out right away.
Who?
The Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt, really?
Yeah, the dog in Duck.
Ah, man, I like them. I mean, I've never played them, but you got to have a little bit of weird in here.
I think there's plenty of weird to go around for this game.
Nah, needs to be more weird.
They don't strike me as characters that should be in a fighting game, but at the same time, so does Mr. Game & Watch. He doesn't belong in this game.
Yeah, and
he works,
and that's the kind of fun stuff that I like sticking around here. I think Lucas is different enough from Ness in order to rank his own slot, but I would take him out just because, well, similarities to Ness, sure, visually they have that against them, but B, it's like. I don't know. I'm still bitter about the fact that Mother 3 has never been brought out over here. So them keeping Lucas on the roster is basically them telling us that this is all we're going to get of Mother 3 ever. And the fact that Nintendo like went way the fuck out of their way in order to not only bring over the original Mother from the NES, but fucking localize it and then put it onto the Wii U. And still leave Mother 3 in the ditch. It's just like, you fucking pricks.
Yeah, that was a massive 2-finger salute.
Clearly, like before, it was like, all right, you don't have the resources, and there's a lot of like weird legal entanglements having to do with stage detail and stuff like that. We got it. There's only so much you can skirt around that. But then they did that, and it's just like, okay, you're doing this to fuck with us now. All right, I get it. Okay.
I see how this is, Nintendo. All right.
It's a slow moving psychological warfare. I still love you. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't respect myself. Or because your games are usually really good. Yeah, Lucas would be the one that I would put out. Everybody's got a wish list. And I figured that that's what this was going to be leading into. Like, we would take out you, and we would take out... I'd also probably take out Meta Knight, because he's not similar to Kirby, but enough of his moves could be adapted to a Kirby rebuild.
I hate that they nerfed Meta Knight.
They nerfed him?
Yeah, after the first game that he was in, he was so fucking OP. Mm-hmm. They did it for the next games. Like, all right, we got to bring him down because, especially in like tournament plays, he was just. I think he was banned from tournament. He was that. He gave the user that much of an advantage.
That big nasty.
I know.
You know who I'd love to see in this shit though?
Yeah, who's the one addition you would bring in?
All right,
if you had one slot.
I mean, aside from like any obvious classic characters, we got Simon in there, so that's off the table now. I want to see Pauline because I think she would be different enough from Rosalina and Peach and Daisy. And Daisy, let's face it, is an Echo. I'd like to bring her. I like to bring her big town sass into this roster. Smack people around with a microphone. Maybe do like a choke action like this.
Is that Pauline in...
Sling drinks, whoop ass, look good while doing all that. Yeah.
In Mario Odyssey, is that Pauline in the red dress and the red hat?
The lounge singer, yeah.
That's like... Is that the same Pauline from early Nintendo? Or are you thinking of that rendition?
More or less. That Pauline is based on the drawing of Pauline that was used in a lot of like sale materials and such for Donkey Kong and, later on, Junior, he had to rescue Donkey Kong, but other stuff.
Yeah.
But you notice that the sprite for Pauline in Donkey Kong is vastly different than what she looks like on the arcade cabinet.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's dressed in that's why I wasn't sure if it was an updated version.
Fucking from like the Little House on the Prairie. She's dressed in a Laura Ingalls Wilder dress, and on the outside, she's just like, I walked into the. Never mind. She's just straight up noir on the cabinet.
That's a really good character because I always had somebody in mind, and the more I think about it, it's like, well, this is a Nintendo character. They'd probably be highly unlikely. The fact that Shovel Knight is an assist trophy is like a little bit of a miracle because he's not Nintendo.
That's really goddamn cool. And that means that like other India stalwarts could pop up in future lives or future live streams.
That's why I would be happy even if it was an assist trophy. I would love to see Shantae.
Yeah, but you know why they didn't announce her as an assist trophy yet?
Why is that?
Because it's become enough of a joke over the last 5 years to have Shantae in the game that they're probably going to put her in the game.
But as a playable character?
As a playable character.
Oh, dude.
I'm not putting money on it, mind you.
Now, how funny would it be if Shantae becomes a character before Waluigi?
Fuck Waluigi. I don't care. I know he's like the world's most revered meme right now, but he could face it. You're fucking Wario's sloppy seconds, and Wario is Mario's sloppy seconds. You are you're sloppy quads, is what you are.
What's he good at? Tennis? That's it?
Maybe.
Yeah. I never see him in anything else.
Well, he would be good at boxing, because there's not a whole lot to hit there.
Oh, yeah. He's got the longer reach.
He's a meth addict. I don't give a shit about Waluigi. He's the guy that
drug addiction of Nintendo characters.
He's the guy that showed up on the scene one day, and he was just like, I can hang with you guys. And they were like, well, what's your deal? And he was like, I don't have a deal. What's my deal?
I can play tennis.
You look like you're insignificant. He's pointing at Luigi, who's got his own trailer nowadays, right?
Yeah, he had his own year.
Exactly. So Luigi's like, I don't know, bitch. I don't think you can. But he comes to the set dressed, and he's like, look, he's Sean Young. Waluigi is the Sean Young of the Nintendo cast.
I was suffering from heat stroke in the meantime.
And I don't mean the classy Sean Young that was in Blade Runner, or fuck it, even like, oh no, she was in another thing that I remember liking back in the day, and now I can't remember because I'm on the spot. And my memory is shit. But yeah, I don't mean that I don't mean 80s Sean Young. I mean like after Batman happened and everything started to go like seriously downhill for her. Yeah, that's what you are, Waluigi. You'll be nothing more than a punchline, and that is it.
No more Waluigi. All right, so let's move on. We did a couple of things. I did a couple of things, and then I had like some news to share with everybody.
Some things.
Yeah,
some news.
I went to check out the new Toy Storyland at Disney Hollywood Studios. Mm-hmm. We were there for about 2 hours, and we said, "Fuck this!"
Riding the Slinky Dog.
It was just the second time I've had to leave a park because I couldn't handle the heat anymore. Usually, I can muscle through it, and
well, that's most of it's outside. That's right.
Almost, it's exclusively outside.
Yeah.
Like, they have cast members. I was talking to one of them, and his only job is to watch the crowd for people who are looking like they're suffering from heat exhaustion.
Jesus.
We were we got there. We went to...
There's a sign at the front of the area that says, if you are this old, you cannot come into Toy Storyland.
Or it should be like a horizontal sign, if you're this wide.
If your hair is this white... You cannot come into Toy Story.
If you were on fire.
Yeah. Well, you'll be leaving on fire.
They have this gigantic Woody doll that's probably 20 feet tall. And, like, his voice box, like, spits out lines every once in a while. One of them should be, "Howdy, partner. Make sure you drink lots of fluids, because we don't have no shade in here."
That's a...
I know, it's a very bad impersonation of Tom Hanks.
No. That's not what I'm thinking about. Like, if they're well aware during the design stages that there are perceivable, like, hazards into partaking of their amusement park.
Right.
Leave it on the table. And then come up with something better.
They have made a number of changes since the park first opened. Like, first off, like I said, it's supposed to mimic, like, you're being in the backyard. Yeah. So there's no canopy, there's no shade, there's almost
Then what
nothing.
the fuck? Why not a toy box? That was didn't they have that at the prior Toy Story area in Hollywood Studios?
No, there's never been a Toy Story.
No, there was the Pizza Planet, and then there was like where Honey I Shrunk the audience used to be. There was like a Toy Story area that was kind of like retrofitted around it, like Fievel's Playland.
Yeah, it had high walls, but there was never really any canopy covering of some kind.
There was still shade.
There was still a little bit of shade.
Yeah.
But this is a wide open area with some trees and some umbrellas, I guess.
Like, I remember Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, that area out behind it. It was still underneath a canopy.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to look literally like someone's backyard. There was, like, giant blades of grass and crap everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But imagine that only wider and nothing above you.
Big-ass ants.
And there's no big-ass ants
Like
there.
the ones in your bathroom.
God, that's a different story. I have carpenter ant problems, so if you got any hints, let me know, because those motherfuckers do not...
Well,
I have poisoned my bathroom like left and right. They still keep coming.
You know how I missed my ride to work yesterday? I was able to get to work by hitching a ride on
You just rode a couple in.
I just rode an ant.
Just tied them to your feet. Onward, boys!
Rolling, rolling, rolling. 5-4, I'm strolling. Anyway,
so yesterday we dropped the boys off at school. Alicia and we drove out to Disney, and we first got to Toy Storyland. It was like, all right, what is Toy Story Mania? That's the
old one.
The original ride. They had opened up a second entry lane or a new entry lane with like a third row of lanes to help fight the congestion a lot.
Yeah, and
it's the ride where you're pulling the I guess the slingshot back and forth. Have you ever been on it?
I've pulled the slingshot back and forth many a time.
Okay.
Yes.
Are we still talking about
masturbation?
There it is.
But were you talking about something else?
Yes, a children's ride.
Was I just engaging in juvenile euphemisms?
Otherwise known as any day that ends with a Y.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I know how this goes.
So yeah, they got a ride there. It was originally there beforehand. They just moved the entrance. We decided to do that. The wait is usually really long, but it wasn't long that day. We go in, we come out. It's like, all right, let's get something to eat. They have some really good food there. There's this little restaurant called Andy's Lunchbox, where basically it looks like someone took a lunchbox, turned on its side, and opened it up.
Yeah.
And they have...
it's full of condoms. What is this, Andy?
Andy, what are you into, man?
Is that an 8-ball? What the?
There's crystal meth over here. Right next to the Baby Bell cheese.
Oh, Dad's been using his lunchbox again. Oh, you deviant shits.
Oh, wow, we're going downhill fast. We've been downhill. We never went up.
Where's there to go when you start at the bottom? Seriously.
Yeah.
Just be honest with yourself.
Well, just give us some shovels. We'll dig it deeper. So, yeah, Alicia and I split a 3-cheese grilled sandwich, which, if you think about it, that sounds incredibly cheap. It was actually really good. They used high-quality cheese and everything. And then they had the brisket sandwich, which this is one of the best things I've ever had on Disney property. It is gloriously good.
That's saying a lot.
It is saying a lot.
You're including Le Cellier. Okay, thank you.
The Montreal poutine they had there?
Yes.
Oh, God. I want to go back for that now.
All right, so you're seeing, like even considering the fact that exists on Disney property, this was better than...
If I had to make a list of top 10 meals I've had on Disney property, the brisket sandwich at Toy Storyland would be up there. It'd be on the list.
Top 5? I'm talking about food so good, make you nut.
No, I didn't nut. But
I'm talking
I would say that it would come in 6 out of 10.
I'm talking about food so good that make you nut, and after accidentally nutting on your food, you'd still be like, I can scrounge some.
I can still do this.
I can still eat around it. It's okay.
I can work with it.
Rather than go to the waiter, like, somebody nutted in my food. You take this back to the kitchen. I mean, yeah, I know you guys are proud of your work, but seriously.
It's just got a little thing on it.
They put too much sauce on it.
Ah, there it is. All right. So yeah, we had our lunch, and we were keeping an eye on the ride times on the app, and we were looking. There's 2 other rides. There's the saucer spinning ride, which
teacups.
No, you can't compare it to the teacups, because the teacups spin in place, and then they go around in a circle.
They centrifugal.
Yeah, okay. These kind of more like whip you around in a circle. It's very, very similar, but it's also different at the same time. Mm-hmm. We looked at the times for that, and we looked at the times for the Slinky Dog roller coaster, which was the reason we went out there to begin with. And the lines were just so long and uncovered. We decided, okay, we're just going to because we have annual passes, we can come back anytime, almost anytime we want. We decided, all right, we're just going to get fast passes and then come back another time, because this is not worth waiting in the heat for.
So you skipped the Slinky Dog?
We did skip Slinky Dog. We're going to try it again when we actually have fast passes. I've heard that if you do it at night, that is a really fun ride at night.
Oh, so it's a lot like Thunder Mountain, in that it almost takes on a whole new identity. Depending upon the time of day you ride.
I'm really wanting to find this out for myself, but yeah.
That's the funniest thing. Did you know that people don't know that about Thunder Mountain?
Yeah. If you time it right and you watch it with the fireworks while you're on the ride.
No. Like, there are actual, like, set pieces on the ride that change.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on what time of day it is.
Well, it's not that they change, but they definitely get perceived in a different quote-unquote light.
Yeah. Well,
so you see them differently.
Yeah, well, there's a silhouettes in the bar towards the end.
Yeah.
When it's all of a sudden lit up and everybody's like partying, but oh my gosh, wait a minute, wasn't this mine train abandoned? It's the fucking ghosts from Haunted Mansion. Those guys had to like get out and cut a rug. There's that.
Cut a rug,
shake a tail feather.
Yeah.
Beat feet. You know what I'm saying? See? I'm James Cagney.
I have no lingo knowledge. I almost said groovy.
You fucking hippie.
I know.
What's wrong with you?
Just beat me with a sledgehammer.
Just eat some mushrooms and sit on the couch.
Can I?
And pontificate.
Because that sounds like a really good idea today.
Yes, you and Goobs can just go take a spot over there and be like, I am just a dust mite on the toenail of the galaxy.
Jenny Bean, please let Goobs come on down to Florida. Actually, no, you come on down too. We'll go to Harry Potter Land.
Y'all do that. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out what to do when you guys are in Harry Potter Land.
Yeah, that's not your thing.
Yeah. When are you gonna have me take that test? By the way.
Yeah, we're gonna do that in another week or two.
That's another one. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have Corey do the Pottermore test, see what house he's in, what his wand would be.
You guys are gonna okay. So right now we're teasing me, who's like not a Harry Potter person at all. Take one of these Pottermore tests and find out what the results are. And I've heard that you have to take them like 3 times.
Well, that's my opinion. You should take it 3 times to actually like 100%. Some people take it 3 times. Some people take it once. It's really up to. We'll have you do it once.
Okay, I got a question here, and I hope I'm not outing anybody. But do people take it 3 times, hoping for the result that they want? Because by then they've like figured out how to game the quiz.
Yeah, I would strongly believe that some people do cheat.
All right, I'm judging people harshly about that.
So you're going to take that one-time challenge.
I'm going to take the
and you have to answer it truthfully.
I'm going to take the 3-time challenge. However, I'm going to give you a caveat. All right, and this is why I'm telling you about this now, especially if we're doing this a week from whenever. That people, I think, should put down. You should open up a pool for for people to vote on like Twitter or wherever the fuck to see what house I belong in.
Oh!
And I'll take the test 3 times. If the first test and the second test don't pan out, then I gotta take a shot. The most popular house vote. The third test will be the real deal. So I'll be like 2 shots in and buzzed. And I don't know what's going to happen if, the results don't come out as, prescribed.
Yeah, I was thinking, what if you get a different house each time?
What if I get a different house at the end? And it's like, well, I guess that's the house I'm at.
Then if that happens, then you go with the third house.
Then I go with the third house?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll figure this out at some point. But yeah, put it up on Twitter. Be like, yeah, I think Corey's going to end up in the whatever house that has vomit all over the floor and people hate each other. Unconditionally. Also, they drive around in like endless, like permanently broken automobiles. That's important.
Oh wow, that can that leads into so many different categories. Yeah, we'll put this on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So go ahead and subscribe to that thing.
Yeah,
find it.
Whether or not it's like Wandy Wiggle or Huffle Stank or whatever the fuck these things are called.
You were pretty close with one of those.
Yeah, Pinky Puff.
Isn't that a little pony?
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be. I have no idea what these things
One thing we will skip on is the Patronus test, where it signs like a spirit animal to you.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. You're a raccoon.
I'm a raccoon.
You don't need to do it. You're a raccoon.
That's been pretty. We've gone over this dozens of times.
We don't need to take a test. Something we know.
I'm the original trash cat, and that's that.
Trash panda.
Trash panda. Well, he's trash panda now. Yeah, but back in the day, it was trash cat or trash dog or whatever.
I like trash cat.
Yeah,
that works. Although trash panda is kind of funny.
Well, trash panda is more popularized, and people know what it is.
Yeah.
And the first time I heard it, I thought that was funny.
So we're gonna be doing that in a couple of weeks. Oh,
Corey versus Pottermore. Be there or be fucked. I don't know how to end those.
I'm going to make a poster reading that.
Your Patronus is a failed bot.
Meanwhile, Harry Potter's over in the corner like, why are they doing this to me? I did nothing. That's the worst Harry Potter.
That's like the little elf guy that's not Gollum.
Dobby.
He's always chasing a sock or some dumb shit.
Harry Potter's giving me a sock!
Here, I'll give you my dirty ass laundry. You think a sock's amazing? Check out these crusty pants. You can hang on to these for the rest of your life.
Master Corey, why are these so grungy?
And why do they taste like stale potato chips?
Tell me why you're tasting the pants!
Lick 'em, Dobby. Lick 'em till they're soft. Oh, I know what house you belong in. The outhouse. Leave.
Yeah, get out.
Leave Hogswarts right now. You've been expelled.
Speaking of Universal Studios Florida. Segway! Oh, God. All right.
It's a brave move.
So you know how Nintendo signed some agreement with Universal to build a theme park with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The big rumor, and there are like permits and everything backing this up, that it was going to replace the Woody Woodpecker Kids Zone with Fievel's Playland, with Barney. They're going to take all that out, animal actors out. Everything was going to...
Fievel's Playland.
Yeah, that was all going to go out. They had the...
I guess it was dated.
Well, I mean, yeah. Can you think... my kids have no idea who Fievel is.
I can't fool them anymore. Like, the last time I was able to convince people that I was, old enough to be on Fievel's Playland was maybe I was 28 or so. But after that, they were like, hey, wait a minute. You're in high school, aren't you? And then I aged rapidly 1 year.
The beer just popped up overnight.
It's like, oh, it's about time puberty kicked in.
Been waiting on your lazy ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had construction walls put up. They had permits filed. They even had the thing with the city where they had to bring in like construction equipment. It was really, really close to them destroying
like a whole ordeal.
Yeah, they were ready to level the entire area and make way for Nintendo Land, because there had been actual permits out there online showing where. Like, Peach's Castle is going to go over here. This ride's over here. Mm-hmm. And it fit perfectly right where the area they were going to demo. And then, all of a sudden, nothing happened. Construction walls came back down. Well, Fievel's Playland and animal actors and all that, they're still there.
Your theme park is in another castle.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Because at this time, Universal had bought a small amount of land off of Sand Lake Road. Mm-hmm. Pretty damn fucking close to where you and I work. And then Comcast stepped up and said, you know what, you're not going to buy this small man land. We're going to buy like all this neighboring land that's around it. So and there's still more land that some guy in Georgia owns, but he's going through like some kind of lawsuit with the city because he has been paying. So yeah, I think all this land that eventually Universal is going to have owned at some point. And it's right on Universal Boulevard, which is like a back road that leads right to Universal Florida. Mm. This is the new rumor that this new area, that is what's going to become Nintendo Land. Mm. And it's not going to be at Islands. It's not going to be at Universal. It's going to be Nintendo Land presented by Universal or something.
It's its own beautiful...
It's going to be its own
standalone thing that we can walk to from work. That is so dangerous.
You know how we pull out of work and if we look down iDrive, we can see... Well, I have 2 kids.
So clearly, this is alien territory to you.
As you pull onto the road of iDrive out of work, we can see the volcano from Volcano Bay.
That is such an interesting tableau, too. Isn't it?
I know,
You're just driving down iDrive and there's a fucking volcano right at the end of it.
Just right in the middle of town. Volcano. Oh, look, and it's spewing.
There used to be...
No, please, take that.
No, I'm good. No.
You're not above this.
That's fucking Zeta grade shit. I'm not biting onto that.
Okay.
Anyway.
So if we leave work, we go one way, we're going to see a volcano. If we go another way, we're going to see Peach's Castle.
Yeah.
That is going to be so weird.
And the volcano's spewing all over Peach's Castle. Well, you're right. Apparently I wasn't above that.
Nope.
Okay, so that, and it's going to be like how close to us if we're talking about like on the other side of Kirkman or on the other side of Sand Lake.
Sand Lake.
Okay, all right.
I have looked at like Google Maps, and from what I'm guessing is from the land that's involved in this whole procedure, there's not really a lot of places for people to park. So they'll probably have people park at Universal and then take some kind of tram, trolley, something over to this park.
But is it close enough to maintain lines of sight with Universal, the park?
That's...
Oh, shit. Is this at the former Skull Kingdom?
No.
Oh, okay. That would have been pimp as fuck.
First off, not enough space, but that would be awesome. No, is it going to be within sightline? I want to say no, but just barely.
That's very strange. Huh. All right. Well, either way, I mean, I'm looking forward to having that on lunch break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you got to pay admission to get in there, too, in which case it's going to be weird. And that's going to be a hard sell for a lot of people, too. Because if they're already, like, dropping a pretty handsome chunk of change on admission to either Universal or Islands, this is going to be like a little mini park. And they're still going to charge admission for that?
Well, like I said, they're going to build, probably not done with buying land. They're going to, because this is the land where Lockheed Martin used to be before they moved into their new facility.
Oh, that land.
Yeah. All that area.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of stuff they have to do. Like, some of it is considered wetland. Mm-hmm. There's like a 9-hole golf course, like right really close to there. I think they might try and buy them out, which fine, great.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I didn't even know there was a 9-hole golf course over there.
I didn't either until I looked at some maps like, oh, look, there's a little tiny El Rio golf course right there.
That must be peripheral to one of the resorts that are over on iDrive somewhere.
That's possible. But I think Universal is like in a process of, like, if you were to think of a line going from this new property all the way to Universal property, they want to put Universal resorts up and down. I mean, they're already building a resort where Wet and Wild used to be.
Yeah.
And it's almost done.
Yeah. They're going to call that like
the Endless Summer or something along those lines. I forget what they're calling
they've already themed it? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to have like a summertime theme to it.
Yeah. Hopefully they've scrubbed that place pretty clean of staph infections and shit.
They brought in a priest to
botulism.
to exercise it.
Like, I love me some Wet and Wild, but man, that park was not well maintained towards the end.
Well, I mean, was any park on its way out maintained well? Not just, I mean, mostly water park where they're all public bathrooms.
Maybe Boardwalk and Baseball, because they shut that bitch down quick.
Yeah.
like the day before, it was at peak operating capacity, and then suddenly,
we done.
We're out of here. Later, kids and kids.
Have a safe drive home.
Well, we're staying at the hotel.
Not now, you're not.
Yeah, the hotel was actually owned by them. There's that hotel on the corner of I-4 and 27 that had the giant baseball player on the side of it. You remember that? That was owned by Boardwalk and Baseball, wasn't it?
I don't remember. It could have been. I mean, otherwise they had partnership theming.
Yeah. I remember that guy was around for a long time after Boardwalk and Baseball. So.
Yeah, I remember that's like a landmark when you were driving by it.
The Lonely Ball Clubber with no club to call his own.
I think they did spring training there for a little bit. Like some major league teams would spring train there.
I was told by an Uber recently that the reason Boardwalk and Baseball shut down immediately and in the way that it did is because the Twins had their spring training there. And then the Twins moved.
And that killed them.
So that killed them straight up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that that's kind of what's going to be happening to ESPN over at Disney, the Disney Wide World of Sports.
Right, the Braves.
The Braves are they fucking they skedaddled. So,
did they?
Yeah. So now it's just going to be like
I think there's another squad there.
It's Pop Warner stuff. It's all like youth sports.
Well, yeah, but this is also with Disney backing it. There's someone's either going to jump in or they'll maintain it some way.
That's true. It's Disney, and they are the undying. But
I mean, can you think of a major league ballpark in the National League or a major league team in the National League who's like, Disney's got this field and they're wide open and it's fucking Disney. Go there. We'll sell some tickets. People, when you are the afterthought, it's like, go to the parks. I'll go out to Disney Springs. Oh, look, there's a Major League Baseball game going on. We could do that.
Like what fucking baseball is there in Central Florida? None.
We
don't even have a AAA down here.
Not anymore. We used to have the Orlando Cubs and the Orlando Rays, and I think they're gone now.
Oh, really? We did have AAAs at some point.
I don't even think they were AAA. I think they were AA.
Been like the Orlando Potholes or something else that Orlando is endemic with.
That's what drives me nuts, man.
It's the Orlando Hose.
It's your Orlando Red Lights.
It's the Orange Blossoms.
The minor league teams that we do get in Orlando, they don't last long. That's why I think the Solar Bears are the only minor league team we still have.
International hockey.
Not international.
Oh, it's actually just called...
The IHL closed down in 2001.
Oh, that's
and
what
some of the teams got absorbed by the AHL, and some of them had the option of joining other leagues.
Yeah.
The ownership of the Solar Bears at that time said, fuck it, we're out.
Yeah.
Because they also owned another team in Michigan, the Grand Rapids Griffins.
Oh, I heard of them.
Yeah, and they went to... I would think they went to the ACH or the AHL. But then the ECHL, which is even lower.
Why so many? It's just hockey.
Sir. I think baseball has more.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yes.
I think there's only 2 in football.
I meant like generally speaking, like as with sports.
Right.
There's just like, okay, there's the big show, right?
The major leagues.
Yeah, the major leagues, all right? So then there's like sub-major leagues. I think below that, you should just worry about college at that point.
In some cases, yeah. There's some players who would go out there for $26 a game.
Okay.
And just for that possibility of a dream of getting called up one day.
Boy, what a divide. $26 per game.
Yeah.
Versus a contract of $20 million to fucking suck. There are people that would play for... Dude, there are people playing for the Bulls.
$20 million for a month.
There are people playing for the Bulls that I swear to God, and I'm indulging in zero exaggeration here.
Well, that's a different sport.
That I could play better than. With my fucked up right knee, I could play better than like half of the roster on the goddamn Bulls.
In the NBA, you can only have like a roster of like 13, 14, 15 players. So there's a big divide.
People, please. The Bulls aren't players. I'll give you this. Once Dwayne Wade left, it was all over for them.
He left years ago, didn't he?
No, he left last year.
Oh, well, it shows how much I've been following.
Well,
my God, you follow NBA more than I do.
I had to for a little while.
Oh, that's true. That was your thing.
Isn't this fucking nerd or not?
They're sports nerds.
That's true.
Look at people who play fantasy football, for God's sake.
Oh my God. It's nothing but stats, those fuckers.
I used to be in a couple of fantasy football leagues, and they would say, "Why are you doing this? You're such a nerd." Dude, this is almost exactly like D&D.
Yeah.
It's stats and numbers and just keeping track of shit.
Yes, and then you whip out your abacus and you're like, look at this. Do you think any normal human being would have an abacus in their office? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some RBIs to crunch or whatever the fuck.
You tried.
Yeah. Click, click, clickety, click. I only know baseball terms. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Passing yardages.
He hit a field goal.
Yes. He hit a field goal. That guy, that runner was offsides.
There you go. All right. We're going to take a quick break and get a refill on our Mai Tais. We'll hear from somebody in the somebodies. Because there's somebody for everybody. Just roll the fucking ad already.
I'm Player 1 Toby.
And I am Player 2 Goose.
And we are the Secret Levels Podcast.
We are a very short, fast, and funny podcast about the classic video games that you love and some newer ones. We slam through them one episode at a time. We try to keep it within the 30-minute limit and keep you that fast and funny, which we only deliver, folks.
And we're going to touch on games from all different types of systems, from Nintendo to Sega to PlayStation.
We're doing from 1942 to Zelda, because we're not counting numbers. Everything's a part of the alphabet here on this show.
So check out our show on all the major podcasting platforms and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Secret Levels Pod.
Do that or get a game over, folks.
So let's punch out this next bunch of news pretty quick here.
Punch out, I get it.
Punch out.
Yeah.
We're not talking Mike Tyson punch out.
Or Little Mac, because we're done with Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. That would have been a nice segue, but quit living in the past. One Punch Man Season 2 is coming to Netflix on April next year.
Yeah,
Was it Netflix?
I believe that was a call for exclusivity on Netflix for that.
Which is awesome. That was such a good have you seen the whole season?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
One Punch Man, fucking awesome. Great, awesome. Can't wait to see where they're going to go with it.
I like how a lot of it is them inverting tropes that were like previously not introduced, but like popularized by things like The Tick and Venture Brothers and such.
Yeah, it does seem to be more of a satire against superhero than it is a parody.
Yeah, but it seems like they're throwing some sort of. I might be reading too much into the season that I just saw, but because it's being constantly hinted at that One Punch Man is like dissatisfied with life. He's depressed. He keeps trying to look for like the next most powerful foe, somebody who could topple him.
Yeah.
And the big, I don't know if I want to spoil the first season, but that's...
Yeah, don't spoil.
That is refracted by the final episode.
Okay.
That idea, yes.
Yeah, he seems to be somebody who has, like...
By the
I want to
events...
say he hasn't hit his limit, but he has no limits to test any longer.
Yeah, but what does he look like when he does hit his limit? Because we got a little taste of that in the last episode.
Right.
Right.
But it still doesn't... It seems like he can go so much further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm looking a whole ton forward to seeing that. And then I like this one that was like right below it because when I walked in earlier and I saw this...
Oh, the title of this category?
The rundown, I was like, Adventures in BreakfastLand, and I thought that Disney or a theme park was opening up a place called BreakfastLand, and I was just going to have to live there from here on out.
This could have been an entire show.
Yeah. What? BreakfastLand?
Man, I wish there were more places that open all day that serve breakfast. And I'm not talking about IHOP and Denny's, because we're talking about real places.
You know what's kind of funny is this part of the show is probably going to divide your audience right in half, because one half of it's going to be like, fuck yeah, breakfast, that's right, we're getting naked and we're having eggs and coffee right now.
And everyone who says that, I absolutely love you.
Yeah. And the other half's like, what the fuck, breakfast? Seriously, just having cereal and shit? What's the big deal?
These are the people who don't get up before noon, and those places are already closed for the day.
Yeah. It's you have to understand, breakfast for some people is an institution.
Waffle House is okay. Breakfast. Ooh, I gotta be careful what I say there. Because
you're talking to a dude who would gladly pay $400 to have a wrestling belt with the Waffle House logo etched onto it.
I would get a second one. We'd be the Waffle House Tag Team Champions.
Outside of kayfabe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dead fucking serious about that.
All right, let me revert this. Waffle House, Denny's, and IHOP. These places are really good for 2 a.m. and I need some eggs.
Yes.
I need some grits.
And in Waffle House's particular case, that place has saved my bacon more than any other, like, after hours. Yes.
Bacon.
Yes. Than any other after hours restaurant going on a road trip. That's a staple.
It's funny. I've taken family trips from Florida to Wisconsin, Florida to Minnesota. And every single time, if our car broke down, where'd we pull in? Goddamn Waffle House.
That's right. Because they got the moon. They got the moons over my hammy, and no one will
Denny's.
suffer. That's Denny's.
That's Denny's. They got the hash browns.
No. They've got something else there too. What is it? No, Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity's IHOP, right? Oh, I know what Waffle House has. Grease.
Lots of it.
You can order grease by the cup. They'll put an egg in it too, if you ask politely.
I remember my dad waking me up. It's like, all right, go inside, go have some breakfast. Dad, it's 2 a.m. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Go eat. This is your chance to eat.
This is it. The Waffle House is your savior.
Go in and have a cup of coffee. You're allowed.
You know, it was the coolest thing about living in Cocoa Beach was, well, A, living on the beach.
Cocoa Beach.
Yeah. And B, living right next to a Waffle House that you could just stumble over to at 3 a.m. That place was... If it weren't for the goddamn panhandlers and the fact that it was so far from work, I'd probably still be over there. But yeah, that was awesome.
God, I can only imagine the amount of stories you have from there.
Not very few. I only visited like 4 times, but it was nice having the option.
I see. Yeah. It's better to have it and not need it.
Well, when you're coming home like kind of half drunk or mostly like full on buzzed
exhausted
from Captain Jay's or something, you're like, okay. God damn it, nobody else is open.
Yeah, this is a hangover place,
and everybody normal's going to sleep. But the Waffle House is there for you every time.
Yeah, there's a couple in town that...
because you can't slurp down grease all the time.
No, you can't. You could, but then you end up looking like me.
Or you'd be dead.
Which also might be me soon. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying. I'm doing what I can.
Well, let me know so I can do interesting things with your corpse.
You get full rights and privileges.
The carpool lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to Weekend at Bernie's this shit. Going to prop you up, make you watch Twilight, too.
How do you feel about canned samba music?
You know what? I'm dead. Don't care. Whatever.
We got
so let's some local places we have in Orlando, and then there's some other places where you used to live that we just want to just express our gratitude towards. I mean, one of them is it is more of a chain, and that's Kiki's. they're good. My wife, I asked her, hey, let's go out for breakfast. And I said, let's go here or here. And she said, we're going to Kiki's. It's like, I didn't even have an option.
What was the other place?
The other place was Maitland Breakfast Club.
Oh, wow, she picked Kiki's over the Breakfast Club, huh?
Because Kiki's does the stuff, or they do the apple cinnamon French toast that she really loves.
And nobody else does. Okay.
Yeah. Maitland Breakfast Club, that is more of a mom and pop place. That used to be they had 2 locations, one of them in Altamont. That's the one that we always went to.
Yeah, I remember the one in Altamont, because the Breakfast Club gets kind of experimental with their dishes.
Yeah, they try a couple of different things. Nothing too crazy.
The one thing that I used to like getting from there was they'd have like this, I'm big on Benedicts. I need to stop being big on Benedicts because it's just not my fat.
You don't. Benedicts are awesome.
But they used to have like a Portobello Benedict over at the Breakfast Club. That shit.
They have it at the Maitland location.
Cash money. Ugh.
We would always go on a Thursday and Friday, and they had a server there. She was from Ireland, and we knew this because she told us she was from Ireland every time we saw her. And she's an incredibly friendly woman. And one day we go to Altamont Breakfast Club, and the door's shut, and there's a sign saying, hey, Cuban Samba de Mio, whatever, is coming next week. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's the worst when they leave no indication that things are awry,
and especially when it's like one of your favorite places.
Yeah,
I know with Altamont Breakfast Club they closed because the rent was jacked up on them, and they said we're out.
The rent's too damn high.
Absolutely, too damn high everywhere.
Yeah.
And we were so happy when we found Maitland, and we went there, and we've been going there ever since.
Yeah,
and some of the same servers are at this place, so
that's cool.
Nice Irish lady. She's there on most of the days.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
She's a sweetheart.
You got 2 others put here, and I kind of noticed that between all the breakfast places we had listed in Orlando, it's mostly chains. We have the First Watch also, which First Watch ought to be the last watch, and Broken Egg Cafe. I think we're kind of at odds with this one because I really like the Broken Egg, but you're dissatisfied with how they do things.
Well, there's a couple of minor things that kind of irk me, like their prices are more... First Watch and Kiki's are almost identical, aside from like a few minor things. They're the same place.
Yeah.
Kiki's is more corporate, get in, sit down, eat your meal, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
While First Watch is like, hey, welcome in, here you go, have a newspaper, here's some water.
They try to do the small town diner experience.
While packing you in like sardines at the same time, but
that is also true.
Broken Egg is more, I guess, high scale breakfast.
Broken Egg is like a trendy, almost painfully hipsterish take on breakfast. That's not why I dig them, though. I dig them because they get a little bit a lot like the Breakfast Club. They get crazier with their dishes. But their coffee is so good. And that's the bit that, like, I think that's the most important staple. That's like the linchpin of a good breakfast joint. Like, all of these places have coffees of, like, thankfully they're above the bar, but varying quality. But Broken Egg is just like, you know what? We call ourselves a Broken Egg. We ought to call ourselves the Nut and Coffee.
Dip your nuts in this.
Yes, dip your nuts in this. It's that fucking good.
If they can fit.
Scald them, and you'll love it.
I think that was my one complaint about Broken Egg, is when they brought me the coffee mug, I looked at it, I was like, is my sauce in there? What the heck? It's like 4 ounces.
They have those, like, artisan coffee mugs.
Yeah, they're tiny. It's like, is this for tea?
Well, the thing is that, like, the Broken Egg coffee mug is still, like, it's still a 10-ouncer, but it's like the top of it's a little choked off and it's bottom heavy. So it looks like...
The scale is off.
The scale is off? Sure. But yeah, there's... Oh, seconds. I like it. I just retasted my ex-Florentine I had today. But they do still keep with the bottomless coffee pot on. So it didn't... that wasn't a factor to me. But I'm big on the Broken Egg too. When it comes to like the creme de la creme or like the heightened experience of a breakfast joint, like like a pure breakfast ritual, nothing really beats like the small town. I'm saying small town in purely like colloquial terms.
The mom and pop places.
The mom and pop places where they have a very personal like not even an approach, but just like dominion over their joints. And we don't seem to have those many here. I have a couple that I grew like very fond of in Chicago. One was called Nookies, and I'm only telling you that I used to go to Nookies a lot because people
Would giggle.
People would ask me how much I used to spend in tips, and it's just like, no, it's not like that. Although I wish it was. Bonookies was also really good. They're an old town. You can if you find yourself in your second city, look them up. They're fucking awesome. Get the spring menu. Look on the spring menu if you can. The other place
is this a place where their menu changes?
Only part of their menu.
Oh, okay.
Their fall menu was fucking insane.
Oh, so they have staples and then like a seasonal menu.
Their fall menu, they had goddamn pumpkin spice pancakes. And I know it's like such an obvious thing to do, but they put fried apples on it. And it was nuts.
Oh, wow.
It was nuts.
I do fight against the pumpkin spice, but when it comes to stuff like pancakes and funnel cake, give me that shit.
Yeah.
I'll gobble that up.
See, that's where the Cretans Guild divides. I will lean right into the pumpkin spice skid.
Okay.
I'll come to work wearing orange with a fucking actual hollowed pumpkin on my head and be like, guess what day it is?
Corey's here.
Put out the coffee. Make sure he doesn't talk too much. Francis Deli. Francis Deli was the other one. That is on for people that like to take road trips to big cities. And there might be I don't know how many of you are out there. It's a thing, I guess. This one's going to be up on Clark in the I think it's technically Lincoln Park, close to Lakeview. And this has been a Chicago an institution in Lincoln Park for about 60 to 70 years. It was first established in 1930, and they've been in the same place the entire time.
That says like a lot.
Yeah, and they're fucking fantastic. Their big deal was service. They're super hot at the table, spinning plates. And they've got a pretty respectable breakfast menu, but nothing that really sticks out. Great coffee. So, you're in for a good time from square one. But that was the other place that I used to go to. But the most important thing about the breakfast ritual that these two places embodied were that you felt comfortable, you felt like you were starting your day off, and you felt like that when the whole breakfast or event, I guess if you want to call it that, was over with, finally you can get to the rest of your day and be on point for all 24 hours, even the ones you're sleeping.
You're set.
You're set. That's the thing about breakfast. It gives you your mindset for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard when I go to work at 3:30 in the morning. And I can't ever have like that moment of time like I got an hour before work. I'll go and grab like some pancakes. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
That's what drives me. Well, I never had to be. I never had that option.
There's my Wawa ritual, which if you can't settle for breakfast, cheese and crackers.
Yeah. With pepperoni.
Yeah, with pepperonis. Well, that's the road trip ritual. That's the pepperoni cheese cup.
Oh man.
That's what keeps me from shitting for like 3 days. But the cheese and crackers, they still gave you fiber in the form of grapes.
So, we do have to tell everybody our.
We had a brush with celebrity the other day.
Well, that's being generous. We went to Kiki's this morning. But we're talking about the time we went to Kiki's, I think, like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Our server, it's really busy, like people running up and down the aisles, like, you want coffee, you want this,
This Kiki's blowing up because it's in the tourism corridor A and B. It's also in the professional corridor.
Yeah, and I think it was a weekend, so it was even, like, more
Was it the weekend?
It might have been.
Oh, so if it was Sunday, we were catching the church crowd, too. Good God.
Yeah, so it just, the fact that we were able to sit down is a minor miracle.
Yeah.
So we're having our food, we're just chatting back and forth. It's like, hey, what should we do on the cast this week? Adventures in BreakfastLand would probably be a good idea. That's when our server came over, gave us our check, and told us, hey, guys, you watched Jackass? Yeah?
Like maybe 18 years ago, sure.
Yeah, sure. That's why? Because in the scenario in my head is like, why are you bringing this up? Did you see my Nerd or Not sticker hanging out? And
have we ever talked about Jackass on here before?
I don't think so.
Not that I'm up for talking it down or anything. We watched the shit out of it back in the day, but it wasn't a thing for a long time. Yeah. Because so many of the people involved in it were trying to move on to other things.
Yeah. Johnny Knoxville's an actor or whatever he's doing now. But anyway, the server gives us our check and he says, Wee Man is at booth 43. Those were his exact words. Yeah. And the first thing I thought of is, great, awesome. But then the math in my head started going. It's like, wait a minute. Did our server just give us permission to go bother Wee Man while he's eating. First off, I don't know what Wee Man's name is.
Yeah.
I don't think I would recognize him if you put up a lineup of little people.
He only exists as an alias to us at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I know of him. I don't know him.
Yeah.
I'm sure if he's like wolfing down his Western omelet and I was like, hey man, I loved you in Jackass. I'm not Wee Man. Knowing my luck, I'd pick the wrong little person.
And then it would become an event after that. Well, for one thing, that's one less breakfast place you can go to now.
Well, this is the other funny thing. First off, it sounded like he gave us permission to go up and say hi to him.
Yeah, he's soliciting us.
And then he told us where to find him. Kiki does not label their booths.
He's over there. I think the guy was kind of he was kind of sparked up.
He was fanboying a little bit. He said booth 43.
No,
great.
I think he was kind of sparked up before he came into work.
Oh well,
yeah,
that I can understand.
It's very
that.
possible because he's like asking us to understand the table layout.
Which we have no idea. They're not labeled.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we could just go table to table looking for a little person, but
even if I was,
I'm not going to do that.
Even if I was still serving and, brought up on the methodology, I fucking never worked here.
I knew exactly what he meant. I didn't know where table 43 was.
What table were we at? 666. Oh, well, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, that'd be perfect timing for us.
Okay. It's the only 3-digit labeled table in the entire restaurant.
So, bottom line is, we did not find Wee Man, not because we weren't looking for him. I mean, on the way out, I was glancing around. I was like, is Wee Man here? I'm going to have to take your word for this, dude, because where's 43?
It's not like he was going to stick up above the booth.
It's not like he's standing there with neon lights and going, I'm Wee... I mean, maybe he was. We just didn't notice it, but he's just standing up on the table. I'm Wee Man! Check me out! It's like,
well, I did see a neon sign with a crudely rendered PP emblazoned.
Well, that might have been him.
Yeah, that's true.
It makes sense now that I think about it.
Actually, it makes no sense at all. The whole thing's just fucking absurd.
I know, but it was so weird having a waiter tell us all this info.
Yeah.
It's like as if we were paparazzi or something, and he was expecting us to slip him 100 for the tip.
That was our brush with greatness at fucking KK's or Kiki's. I keep pronouncing it KK.
As long as you don't put another K in there, I think we're okay.
Oh well. Sorry, Wee Man, we didn't get your autograph.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to follow us, you can.
Yep.
We'll follow you. We have no idea how to get a hold of you.
So aside from non-brushes with arguable greatness for this week, what have we been up to?
Let's see. Oh, you were on an upcoming episode of
Fuck yeah, I was Secret
Levels.
That was so fucking fun.
All right. Without giving away too much, tell us what game you guys talked about.
Okay, we talked about the Lost Vikings.
Lost Vikings from Super Nintendo.
It was vintage Super Nintendo goodness. I call it goodness. They hit a wall with it at some point, and I totally understand it. But in order to know what I mean exactly, you're just going to have to tune in and give us a listen.
Yeah, I don't know did they tell you when that will post?
No exact, no details.
Well, the simple thing is, if you follow the somebody's net, you'll find out eventually. They'll post it eventually.
The extent of my understanding with their approach is that it'll happen when it happens, and I could not criticize that at all because ours is more scattershot than that.
Yeah, it might be funny if they get their episode up before ours, which is I'm going to do everything I can to edit and then get this up today, but they might get it out before us.
Yeah.
Now, before we sign off, I wanted to give some updates on the show, our group, I guess, however you want to say it.
Depends. I have no idea where we're going. Well, I don't know what's going on.
We're kicking around the ideas of creating a Patreon where you can. I'm not sure what would be the best for us, whether to do through Patreon's website or there's one that is partnered with Podbean. That one is super convenient. I'm actually joined a couple of those. That's how I support Rob. I support. I'm not going to brag everybody I support, but. They make it very, very, very easy to just support podcasts that you really love and you want to help
their
out.
shit.
Yeah. So I'm looking into options and I want to create really good tiers. I don't want just hey, give us $1, we'll give you a shout out. No, I want this to actually be worthwhile. Like something you would this is a good trade-off. $1 for this, $3 for that, and so forth.
$10 give you a buffalo shot. But I get all $10.
but you also have to deliver the buffalo.
But I also have to deliver the buffalo shot. I'm not going to say it's impressive, but I'll do it.
I don't care what it is. I'm going to put $10 buffalo shot.
$10 for buffalo shot.
Delivered by Montana Corey.
$8 for a fruit salad. We can give you the cut rate experience.
We'll give you the ingredients so you can go out and buy it yourself. Something else that we're going to work on. I'm debating between one of two different sites, but we want to start selling merch. So we have some really stellar artwork that we're working on right now. And I swear to God, when this is all done, we're going to be really, really proud of this.
I'm pretty jazzed to see how this turns out.
Yeah, we're working on a new logo for the show. I'm not sure for the show or just for the Cretans Guild in general.
I kind of see it because you have your logo over there.
Yeah, that is
that's your sticker.
The blue shield with the Nintendo controller, pizza, and Mjolnir.
I was kind of seeing this thing that you're working on as more of a mascot for the show.
That is I was hoping to possibly put this on like bowling shirts type of deal.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, and we're still in the works. Keep following us if you want to support us. Just first thing you can do. And it's completely free, is just support us by following and subscribing. And then if you want to send a little cash our way, we'll figure out ways to make it worth your while. And then if you want to buy a shirt with one of our pieces of art on it, that'd be cool too. So in closing, we're going to say that we feed off your dialogue. We ask you to, again, subscribe, like, and engage us in the comments, either here, our Instagram or Twitter account at Cretans Guild. So all to our followers, new and old, we say... Welcome to the guild.
$10 buffalo shots. Limited time only.
This podcast is part of the Some Buddies Network. You're never alone when you've got some buddies.